Welcome to Intuitive Real Talk, the podcast where I am going to cut through all the BS. I'm going to light a fire under your spiritual ass, and I'm going to remind you your intuition isn't weird, it is your superpower. Hi, I'm Stephanie, a psychic medium, intuitive coach, animal communicator, paranormal expert. Yep, all the things intuitive. I'm also a professional truth dropper. So, what are we going to do here? We're going to dive into it all. Shadow work, spirit talk, intuitive gifts, and yep, even aliens, like a spiritual dumpster dive, but with purpose. There's going to be no gatekeeping, no fluff, no performative love and light bullshit, just raw, unfiltered conversations for people who know they came here to shake shit up. Let's get into it. Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Intuitive Real Talk. Today I'm going to talk about why an intuitive reader is able to do oracle cards for a collective group, as well as one-on-one and for themselves. So why is it different having an intuitive reading? So I give psychic medium readings, and it can be one-on-one, it can be by phone, it can be by Zoom, or I might do an oracle reading. And so my friend recently asked me, how can you do them? And why is it always a little different than the one-on-one questions? So this is how I explained it to her. And all of you that are readers out there, you'll have to tell me if this feels good to you or not. So what I do is I call in my highest spirit guide team, and I say, you are given consent to channel through me. So I'm just giving the messages for either that person or for the collective or for myself. But I'm also calling in either the collective spirit team or that individual spirit team or my own spirit team. So when I call in the collective, I am saying I'm calling in the collective guides on what does the collective need to hear today. And so I will just go off of the energy and whatever I'm channeling through, using the cards like a guide. Then when I'm reading the oracle cards for a person that I don't know, because most of the time I don't know her, and it could be a repeat client, but when I am being asked to do an oracle reading for one person because it's customized for that person, and by customized, I mean I'm calling in their personal team. So this is no longer a big collective reading, it's for them specifically for their journey. And so what I do is I'm calling in their team and saying, you can channel through my team to me, and I will just specifically give out the information of what their team wants them to know on the oracle cards that are drawn under their energy. So why is that different from a one-on-one reading? Well, a one-on-one reading is I am now connecting into your energy. I'm not just going through your spirit team. So when I'm doing oracle, I'm doing a spirit team where I'm just like, tell me what they need to know is coming to them, what isn't coming to them. Now, when I'm one-on-one with you, either by phone, Zoom, in person, I'm tapping into your energy different, where it's you plus your spirit team, plus the spirit realm, plus all the other stuff that's going on. So that's why a reader is able to read a collective, because they could be saying, hey, I need to know what a collective needs to hear today. So if I wanted to do for all of my listeners, I would just call in and say, anyone that's listening to this, no matter what day or time or how far in the future it is, I'm calling on their spirit team, because again, time is irrelevant, right? It's not linear. It's just kind of everything. So when I call that in, I'm saying channel through me, so that this way they're given the messages that they need. Now, will the full message on a collective be for you? Typically not, but it will be enough that you'll be like, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about this. But that's why when you come back to a collective reading, if you've already healed this or gone through that, something else they said will spark up, and it will be just that little bit of nugget of information that you need to guide you or to let go of something. So how do I read? I don't read tarot. I do read oracle cards, and I'm typically a little different than most readers. Most readers will say, this is what this card means. And they'll say, so coming up, you might have a lot of issues with financial, or you might be doing traveling or whatever. So what I do is I pull the cards and then I open up the guidebook, not because I need to know how to do this, but I look for words that pop out. That's part of my gift is I need to visually see some words that pop out and then I'll just write down a word. And then when I go to read, because when I go to read, now what I'll do is I will look at that word because I've already told my team, I've given you consent to channel through me through this reading. I just start to read. That word is enough to like activate something that your guides are saying, oh, this is what they need to hear. And then I expand onto it. So that's why Oracle readings also may feel a little bit like coaching, is because it's like, okay, this is what's going on. And here's the backstory of what they want you to look at, so that you are letting go of the things, so that you are moving towards the things. And so if you've never had an oracle reading, I encourage you to do that. But I also encourage you to only check out readers that you feel immediately like, I like their energy. If you're someone that you're just like, I don't know if I like your energy, you're more than likely not aligned with them. Does not mean that either of you are a good or a bad person. What it just means is energetically, they're not the one that's supposed to give you that message, or they're not the one to guide you or to support you in whatever you're doing right now. They are just supposed to show you either one, this is what I don't like for energetic, or it is, oh gosh, this resonates with me. I like this. And so I'm going to see if my internal, because it also tells us if we can trust ourselves or not. So gosh, I hope that made sense when it comes to how to read on an Oracle group, Oracle collective, and how to read. Oh, so how can you read for yourself? So when I call in my spirit team, what I do is I say, I am going to read for myself. Tell me what I need to know, what's coming towards me, what's not, what do I need to let go? And then I specifically say how many cards I'm going to pull. And so then I pull those cards and I just write the words that pop out on me out of the book. And so once I read those words that have popped out of the book, then I record it just like I'm recording right now because my higher self is in charge. Then my human side, because when we're reading someone, it's our higher self, AKA our soul source, that's in charge. If you're truly tapped in, if you're really intuitively tapped in, because otherwise our human side starts to say, well, it could be this, it could be that, and I got these emotions and I got that. So I do it like I'm reading anyone else. I just record it and then I re-listen to it and allow my human side to digest what my higher self just told it so that it can find that balance. It is actually easier than we think. A lot of intuitives were taught we cannot read for ourselves. We have to second guess all the things. If you can detach the human emotion part, and I don't mean being cold, I mean like if you can literally just say, what intuitively am I channeling? Then it will flow, and then your human self can digest, and then you're not overthinking it. So I sure hope that resonated. I hope that made sense, and I cannot wait to see you next week.